The biggest mistake in your dream home may happen before the first block is ever laid. You can have the perfect piece of land, the best building materials, the most expensive finishes, and still end up with a house you regret living in. Because some homes don't fail with dramatic cracks. They don't collapse. They don't make headlines. They fail quietly. A bedroom that becomes unbearably hot every afternoon. A living room that needs artificial lights during the day. A house that looks beautiful but feels uncomfortable. Electricity bills that keep increasing because the design is fighting the environment instead of working with it. The surprising part is this. Many of these problems were already decided before construction began. They were hidden inside the drawings. Approved on paper. Celebrated as a beautiful design. But a house is not a photograph. It is not a social media post. It is not something created only to impress visitors. A house is where people wake up every morning. Where families spend years of their lives. Where comfort, privacy, energy costs, and daily routines are affected by decisions made long before anyone receives the keys. So how does a house that looks perfect on paper become frustrating to live in? And more importantly, how can you recognize these mistakes before they cost you thousands to fix? In this investigation, we'll uncover 6 house design mistakes that homeowners discover too late. We'll explore why some beautiful houses fail in real life. How architects think before drawing the first line. And the questions every homeowner should ask before approving any house plan. Because good design is not just about creating a house people admire. It's about creating a house people love living in. Walk through any modern housing development today, and you will notice something immediately. The houses are impressive. Large glass windows. Beautiful entrance designs. Luxury finishes. Expensive landscaping. From the outside, many of these homes look like the definition of success. And there is nothing wrong with wanting a beautiful home. A house should make you proud. It should reflect your personality. It should be a place you enjoy returning to every day. But here is where many homeowners make their first mistake. They confuse appearance with performance. Because a house can look perfect and still fail the people living inside it. A building is not successful because it looks good in photographs. A building is successful because it supports everyday life. This is why architects don't begin with the question, how can we make this house look impressive? The better questions are, who will live here? How do they move through the house? What activities happen every day? Where does sunlight enter? Where does the wind come from? Which spaces need privacy? Which spaces should connect? Because the best homes are not designed only to be admired. They are designed to be experienced. Consider a large glass wall. In a photograph, it may look incredible. It creates a feeling of luxury. It connects the interior with the outdoors. But if that glass faces intense afternoon sunlight without proper shading, the same feature can become a daily problem. The room overheats. The curtains remain closed. The air conditioner works harder. And the electricity bills continue rising. The problem was never the glass. The problem was the decision behind it. The same applies to oversized entrances. A huge entrance hall may create a dramatic first impression. But if it takes valuable space away from practical areas like storage, bedrooms, or family spaces, the homeowner pays for a feature they rarely use. A complicated roof design may look unique, but unnecessary complexity can increase construction costs and create more areas that require maintenance. This is the difference between designing for appearance and designing for living. Good architecture is not about choosing beauty over function. It is about making beauty serve a purpose. Think about your kitchen. A kitchen can look amazing on a drawing. Large island, premium cabinets, expensive finishes. But if the refrigerator is too far from the cooking area, if storage is poorly planned, if movement becomes difficult, the kitchen becomes frustrating. The same applies to every room in the house. A bedroom is not successful because it is large. It is successful because it provides comfort, privacy, ventilation, and enough space for the people using it. A living room is not successful because it is expensive. It is successful because people naturally want to spend time there. Brick and brain field note. When reviewing a house plan, don't ask only, "Does this look beautiful?" Also ask, "Will this make everyday life easier?" That single question can reveal problems before construction begins. Because once walls are built, correcting design mistakes becomes expensive. Moving windows, changing room sizes, improving ventilation, fixing circulation problems. These decisions are much easier on paper than after the building is complete. The design stage is one of the most important moments in construction. A mistake made during planning can affect the building for decades. But beauty is only one part of the story. A house can have the perfect appearance and still become uncomfortable every afternoon because it ignores one powerful force: the sun. One of the most expensive design mistakes is completely invisible. You won't notice it on a beautiful 3D rendering. You won't see it on a floor plan. You probably won't hear anyone mention it during a house tour. But you'll feel it every single afternoon. Imagine two families moving into two brand new homes. Both houses cost almost the same to build. Both use quality materials. Both have beautiful finishes. Both look equally impressive from the street. Yet after just a few months, one family begins asking questions. Why is our living room always so hot? Why do we switch on the lights in broad daylight? Why is our electricity bill so much higher than we expected? The answer isn't hidden in the air conditioner. It isn't hidden in the paint. It isn't hidden in the furniture. It was decided the day the house was positioned on the land. Every building has a relationship with the sun, whether you acknowledge it or not. From sunrise to sunset, sunlight changes the temperature inside your home. It affects comfort, natural lighting, energy consumption, even the lifespan of furniture, flooring, curtains, and finishes. Yet many homeowners approve a house plan without asking one simple question: how will the sun interact with this building every hour of the day? Instead, attention goes somewhere else. The number of bedrooms, the size of the living room, the color of the roof, the beauty of the facade. Those things matter, but they should never come before performance. A window is not simply an opening in a wall. It is a decision about heat, light, comfort, privacy, energy. Place a large glass window where harsh afternoon sun strikes directly every day, and you've created a beautiful feature that works against the people inside. The room overheats. Curtains stay closed. Artificial lighting is used more often. The air conditioner works longer. Month after month, the homeowner pays for a design decision they didn't even know they approved. Brick and brain field note. Before approving a house plan, don't ask only, "Where are the windows?" Ask, "Why are the windows there?" Good architects don't place windows randomly. They study the movement of the sun. They decide which rooms need morning light, which rooms should avoid afternoon heat, where roof overhangs should. One of the strangest complaints homeowners make after moving into a brand new house is this: "I don't know why, but this house just doesn't feel comfortable." The paint is fresh. The furniture is beautiful. The construction is solid. Everything looks exactly as it did on the drawings. Yet something feels wrong. The bedrooms remain stuffy long after sunset. The kitchen stays hot hours after cooking. The air feels heavy. The family keeps turning on more fans. Eventually, they install larger air conditioners. Then another one. And another. But comfort never quite arrives. Most people blame the weather. But in many cases, the weather isn't the real problem. The design is. Long before electricity, air conditioners, and ceiling fans existed, homes still had to remain comfortable. The best builders understood one simple principle: a house should work with nature, not against it. And one of nature's greatest gifts is moving air. Every building breathes. The only question is, was it designed to breathe properly? Good ventilation allows fresh air to enter, warm air to escape, moisture to leave. and stale indoor air to be replaced naturally. Poor ventilation traps everything inside. Heat, humidity, cooking odors, moisture. Over time, these conditions don't just affect comfort. They can also contribute to mold growth, unpleasant smells, peeling finishes, and a poorer indoor environment. Brick and brain field note: windows are not just for views. They are part of your home's ventilation system. Many homeowners ask, how many windows should I have? A better question is, how will these windows work together? One window allows air to enter. But when openings are positioned correctly on opposite or adjoining sides of a space, air can flow naturally through the room. This is known as cross-ventilation. It is one of the simplest and most effective ways to improve indoor comfort through design alone. Now imagine two bedrooms. Both are exactly the same size. Both have the same furniture. Both use the same finishes. The first bedroom has carefully positioned openings that allow fresh air to move through the space. The second has only one small window with no clear path for air to escape. By bedtime, one room feels cool and refreshing. The other feels warm, heavy, and uncomfortable. The construction quality is the same. The difference is the design. This is why experienced architects study more than floor plans. They study wind direction, local climate, building orientation, the relationship between rooms. Even the position of doors can influence how air moves through a home. These are invisible decisions, but they create visible results. Now consider another mistake. A homeowner finds a beautiful house online. The pictures look incredible. The reviews are excellent. So they copy the design exactly as it is. But the original house was designed for a completely different environment. Different temperatures, different humidity, different prevailing winds, different seasons. A design that performs brilliantly in one location may struggle in another. Good architecture is never about copying appearances. It is about responding to local conditions. Sometimes the smartest design decision costs nothing extra. It simply requires better planning. Because solving a ventilation problem on paper is almost free. Solving it after construction can require breaking walls, enlarging windows, installing extraction systems, or relying on larger cooling equipment for decades. That is a very expensive way to fix a simple design mistake. A comfortable house should not depend entirely on machines. Technology should improve good design, not compensate for poor design. Because the best homes don't just protect people from the weather. They work with the environment to create comfort naturally. But even a house that receives beautiful daylight and enjoys excellent ventilation can still waste enormous amounts of money if one more design mistake is overlooked. The way space itself is planned. And that's where our next investigation begins. Ask someone to describe their dream home, and you'll hear the same words again and again. Bigger. More bedrooms, a larger living room, a grand entrance, a massive kitchen, a bigger balcony. Because somewhere along the way, we started believing that bigger automatically means better. But what if that's one of the most expensive myths in home design? Imagine two families with exactly the same budget. The first family builds a 350 square meter house. The second builds a carefully planned 220 square meter house. 5 years later, which family is happier? Most people would immediately choose the larger home. But experienced architects often ask a different question. Which house works better? Because every extra square meter comes with a price. You pay to build it. You pay to tile it. You pay to paint it. You pay to furnish it. You pay to clean it. You pay to cool it. You pay to maintain it. And you'll keep paying for it for as long as you own the house. That's why wasted space isn't just bad design. It's bad financial planning. One of the most common examples is the oversized entrance hall. It looks spectacular. Guests walk in and immediately say, "Wow! The ceiling is high. The staircase is dramatic. The chandelier is breathtaking." But after the visitors leave, what happens? The family walks straight through it. No one sits there. No one spends time there. No memories are created there. Yet the homeowner paid thousands to build, finish, light and maintain a space that serves little practical purpose. Now compare that to a smaller home where every room has a job. The kitchen flows naturally into the dining area. Storage is exactly where it's needed. The living room brings the family together. Bedrooms feel private and comfortable. Nothing feels wasted. Nothing feels oversized. Nothing exists simply to impress. That is the difference between a big house and a smart house. Brick and brain field note. The true measure of a house isn't its size. It's how efficiently every square meter improves the lives of the people living inside it. Another mistake is poor circulation. Circulation simply means how people move through the house. It sounds technical, but everyone experiences it. Have you ever visited a house where you had to walk around furniture just to get through the room? Or where someone cooking in the kitchen blocked everyone else's movement? Or where carrying groceries from the entrance to the kitchen felt unnecessarily difficult? Those aren't construction problems. They're planning problems. Good floor plans almost disappear. You don't notice them because everything feels natural. You move effortlessly from one space to another. The house supports your daily routine without demanding extra effort. Poor floor plans do the opposite. They interrupt, delay, frustrate. Another costly mistake is designing rooms for a lifestyle that doesn't actually exist. A formal lounge that's only used twice a year. An oversized dining room for dinners that never happen. A second staircase because it looked luxurious on social media. A huge home office that sits empty because nobody works from home. These spaces may look impressive on a floor plan, but they quietly increase construction costs without improving everyday life. Good design isn't about asking, "What else can we add?" It's about asking, "What does this family genuinely need?" Because every unnecessary room takes money away from something that truly matters. Better insulation, higher quality windows, more durable roofing, better landscaping, or simply reducing the overall construction budget. In other words, a poorly planned large house can easily cost more to build, more to maintain, and still deliver a worse living experience than a smaller, intelligently designed home. That's why architects don't measure success by square meters alone. They measure it by performance. Because every square meter should earn its place. Before adding another room to your dream home, ask yourself one question. If I removed this space today, would my family's daily life actually change? If the answer is no, perhaps that room was never necessary in the first place. But even a perfectly sized home can still fail if it ignores something every family values: the feeling of privacy. Because a house should never force the people inside it to compete with one another for peace and comfort. And that's the next design mistake we're about to investigate. Imagine finally moving into the house you've dreamed about for years. Construction is complete. The furniture has arrived. Friends and family come to congratulate you. Everyone agrees on one thing. The house is beautiful. But after a few weeks, small frustrations begin to appear. Guests walk past bedroom doors every time they visit. Children trying to study are constantly interrupted by noise from the living room. Someone working from home struggles to concentrate because the home office sits beside the kitchen. The master bedroom feels like it's in the middle of the house instead of being a private retreat. Nothing is technically wrong with the construction. The problem is how the spaces relate to one another. This is one of the most overlooked design mistakes homeowners make. They design rooms instead of designing how people live. A house is not just walls, doors, and windows. It is a place where people sleep, work, relax, celebrate, argue, recover, raise children, welcome guests, and create memories. When the design ignores those daily routines, even an expensive house can become tiring to live in. Brick and brain field note. A great floor plan doesn't simply organize rooms. It organizes life. Experienced architects think beyond individual spaces. They think about relationships, Which rooms should be close together? Which should remain separate? Where should family activities happen? Where should quiet spaces be protected? Good homes naturally divide themselves into zones. Public spaces. Semi-private spaces. Private spaces. Visitors should feel welcome without wandering through bedrooms. Children should be able to study without constant distractions. Parents should have places to relax without sacrificing privacy. These decisions rarely attract attention during a house tour, but they're noticed every single day after moving in. Now think about your daily routine. Where do you place your keys when you walk through the front door? Where do children leave their school bags? Where do muddy shoes go during the rainy season? Where do groceries go after shopping? Where do you fold laundry? Where do you charge your devices? These aren't small questions. They are the difference between a home that feels organized and one that constantly feels cluttered. Good design solves ordinary problems before they become daily frustrations. Another mistake is designing for today's lifestyle alone. A newly married couple may not need a nursery today. A young professional may not work from home today. An aging parent may not live with a family today. But life changes. Families grow. Careers evolve. Children become teenagers. Parents become grandparents. The best homes are designed to adapt. Flexibility is one of the most valuable features a house can have. Not because it looks impressive, but because it continues serving the family for many years. This is also why copying another person's floor plan can be risky. Their lifestyle is different. Their priorities are different. Their family size is different. Their future may be completely different from yours. The goal isn't to build someone else's dream home. The goal is to build the right home for your life. Because architecture is ultimately about people, not buildings. A successful house understands the habits of the family before it determines the shape of the walls. And yet, many homeowners still fall into one final trap. They find a beautiful house online, download the drawings, and assume it will work perfectly on their own land. That single decision has cost countless homeowners money, delays, and disappointment. And that's exactly what we'll investigate next. The copy and paste house plan problem. We've uncovered 5 costly design mistakes so far. But this final mistake is different, because it often combines all the others into one expensive decision. It usually begins with excitement. You're scrolling through social media, browsing Pinterest, watching house tours on YouTube, or flipping through a magazine. Then you see it. The perfect house. A modern 2-story home. Clean lines. Large windows. Beautiful balconies. An elegant floor plan. It looks exactly like the house you've always imagined. And then a thought crosses your mind. Why pay for a new design when I can simply build this one? It sounds like a smart way to save money. But in reality, it could become one of the most expensive shortcuts you'll ever take. Because a house plan is not a product. It's a solution. And every solution is designed for a specific problem. Brick and brain field note. A great house plan isn't created for everybody. It's created for somebody. And that's a very important difference. Think about it. The architect who designed that house probably studied the site before drawing a single line. They looked at the shape of the land, the slope, the surrounding buildings, the direction of the sun, the prevailing wind, local planning regulations, the family's lifestyle, their budget, their future plans. Now imagine taking that exact same drawing and placing it on a completely different piece of land. A narrow plot instead of a wide one. A sloping site instead of a flat one. A hot tropical climate instead of a cooler region. Different rainfall. Different neighbors. Different building regulations. Different family needs. The drawing hasn't changed, but everything around it has. Suddenly, windows that once captured beautiful natural light now bring unbearable afternoon heat. Outdoor spaces lose privacy because neighboring buildings are much closer. Drainage no longer works as intended because the land slopes differently. Rooms that suited another family's lifestyle become awkward for yours. The design wasn't bad. It simply belongs somewhere else. This is why experienced architects always begin with questions before they begin with drawings. What problem are we solving? Who are we designing for? What does this site demand? How does this family live? Those answers shape every important design decision. Now let's talk about something many homeowners overlook: planning approval. A design downloaded online may look spectacular, but will it satisfy local building regulations? Will it meet required setbacks? Will the height comply with planning rules? Will drainage requirements be met? Will emergency access remain adequate? Ignoring these questions can mean redesign fees, approval delays, construction changes, and unexpected costs long before the first roof sheet is installed. Another hidden cost is lifestyle. A house with 6 bedrooms may look impressive, but if only 3 are ever used, you've paid to build, furnish, maintain, and clean space that adds very little value to your daily life. The smartest homes are rarely the ones with the most features. They're the ones where every feature has a purpose. Now, none of this means you shouldn't look at other house designs. Inspiration is valuable. In fact, it's one of the best ways to discover ideas you may never have considered. The mistake isn't finding inspiration. The mistake is copying without understanding. A professional architect doesn't copy solutions. They study why a solution works. Then create a better one for your own land, climate, budget, and lifestyle. That's the difference between a house that simply looks impressive and a home that performs beautifully for decades. So before you approve any drawing, ask yourself these 4 questions. Was this design created for my land? Was it designed for my climate? Was it designed for my family's lifestyle? Or am I choosing it simply because it looks beautiful? Because the best house plan isn't the one that receives the most likes online. It's the one that quietly makes your everyday life easier. We've now uncovered the 6 design mistakes that quietly cost homeowners thousands before construction even begins. So how do you avoid making them? Let's finish with a practical checklist you can use before approving any house plan. Before you approve a house plan, pause. Not because you're delaying your dream, but because you're protecting it. Everything we've discussed in this investigation comes down to one simple truth. The most expensive design mistakes are usually the ones you don't notice until you've already moved in. By then, the walls have been built. The roof has been installed. The tiles have been laid. Changing the design could mean spending thousands to fix decisions that cost almost nothing to avoid on paper. That's why every homeowner should have a simple checklist before saying one word: approved. So before construction begins, ask yourself these 6 questions. Question 1. Does this house fit the way my family actually lives? Not the lifestyle I wish I had. Not the lifestyle I saw on social media. My real everyday life. Question 2. Has the design been planned around the sun? Will the rooms stay comfortable? Will natural light reduce the need for artificial lighting? Or will this house fight the environment every afternoon? Question 3. Can the house breathe naturally? Will fresh air move easily through the rooms? Or will I depend on fans and air conditioners just to feel comfortable? Question 4. Is every square meter earning its place? Am I paying for useful spaces? Or simply paying for impressive spaces? Question 5. Does this design protect privacy? Can my family relax without every visitor walking through our personal spaces? Does the layout support quiet, work, rest, and family life? Question 6. Was this house designed for this land? This climate? This budget? This family? Or was it designed for someone else? If you can't confidently answer those 6 questions, don't rush into construction. Because every month spent improving a design is far less expensive than years spent living with a poor one. Brick and brain decision point. Imagine 2 homeowners. The first chooses a house because it looks impressive. The second chooses a house because it solves problems. 5 years later, one homeowner is still trying to fix uncomfortable rooms, high electricity bills, poor ventilation, awkward spaces, and expensive alterations. The other simply enjoys living there. Not because the house was bigger. Not because it was more expensive. But because it was designed intelligently from the very beginning. That's the difference good architecture makes. Brick and brain rule number 3. The best house isn't the one people admire for 5 minutes. It's the one your family enjoys living in for the next 50 years. If this investigation changed the way you think about house design, share it with someone who's planning to build. One conversation today could save them years of regret tomorrow. And if you enjoy investigations that help you make smarter property decisions, subscribe to Brick and Brain, like this video, and turn on notifications so you never miss what's next. Every episode is designed to help you avoid expensive mistakes before they happen. Because the smartest property decisions are made long before construction begins. I'm James. And this is Brick and Brain, building smarter property decisions. In our next investigation, we'll expose one of the most dangerous myths in construction. Many homeowners believe that once the drawings are complete, the hard part is over. The truth is, some of the biggest and most expensive mistakes happen after construction begins. We'll investigate the 7 foundation and construction mistakes that quietly destroy homes from the ground up, even when the design is perfect. And before you spend a single pound, dollar, naira, or sati on your foundation, you'll want to see that investigation first.